Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley. Today, we've got high school basketball predictions. My first of the season. Happy New Year's. January 2nd today, I believe. So I'm pretty excited here for 2025. It's Thursday as I film. It is 3:58. I'm going to try to get it up at 6 o'clock, so I'm 2 hours ahead of when this is going to be up for you guys. I don't know if you're going to be watching on Thursday night. Hopefully you are. But if not, if you see this on Friday, you're only missing one game. I'm only predicting one Thursday night game. And then the rest are Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, and maybe one Wednesday. I think one Wednesday. So, like I said, it's Thursday. I have all 6 classes in this one because I don't have final scores and a wrap-up from last week. So I will be moving to Tuesday. We're doing small school predictions, class 1, 2, and 3. And Thursdays, I'll be sticking – you'll see a video every Thursday, class 4, 5, and 6. I can also change that if you guys want me to. I can put it all together, and we would do that on Wednesday. So it's either Tuesday and Thursday, 2 videos, or a big one on Wednesday. So let me know on that. But let's go ahead. Let's get to it, the Class 1 scoreboard. St. Elizabeth versus Jamestown. This one is the one I'm talking about being tonight, Thursday night. I don't think it's going to be that close. Jamestown's 2-6. So give me St. Elizabeth by... I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do scores, honestly. That may be tough for basketball to do scores. Since I already kind of teased you with that, give me St. Elizabeth by like 20. But I don't know if I'm gonna do scores for basketball. That's another thing you guys can let me know on that. But Stoutland, sorry, I almost said Stoutland. Stoutland, I believe, is what it is. The Stoutland Tigers versus Iberia. I like Iberia. They've always had a good basketball team. I think that continues this year, so give me the Rangers here. Chamois versus Calvary Lutheran. Calvary Lutheran is about 14 minutes from my house, so pretty close. Maybe I can show up to one of their games at some point. I don't believe they win this one, though. I will take the Pirates getting it done at home. Atlanta versus Milan. I've been asked to go to an Atlanta basketball game this year, so I may get that done. I'm not fully certain yet. This is a Friday night game against Milan. Atlanta sitting at 7-2 currently as I speak. Milan 3-4. So I think Atlanta's got the advantage here. Must be honest. Give me the Hornets in this one. Billings versus Ash Grove. Both these teams are 7-4. I think that Billings gets it done. I'll take the home team here. And Bramer versus Hardin Central is the last one here on the Class 1 scoreboard. The Bobcats are sitting at 5-3. The big thing, they don't have Jordan Haley right now. Ended up being, I can't remember what it was. Leg injury in football. Ended up having surgery. And so he's out for a little while. I think that Hardin Central can go into Bramer and get it done on the road in this one. I will take the Bulldogs sitting at 7-4. I think they win this one. But once Jordan is back and good to go for Bramer, I think there's not a lot stopping them from a district championship. Class 2 scoreboard, we're going to start with Crane hosting Clever. Clever's a higher class, bigger school overall, so I will take them. I think they just have the competitive advantage over Crane. Concordia hosting Crest Ridge. I think Crest Ridge is the better team here, sitting at 8-3 at Warrensburg. I think they end up going to Concordia and getting this one done. Hartville, they're 9-2. They're playing Liberty Mountain View. These two teams are very good. What is this? A Friday night game at 7:30. Unfortunately, won't be able to go to this one, but I think Hartville is the team that I've heard that just kind of holds the ball the whole entire game, and a lot of people are mad at that because nobody really wants to watch people hold the ball because there's no shot clock. So I don't know. I feel like you have the competitive advantage. If you just don't let the other team score, you're going to end up winning the game. So give me the Eagles. Oh, both of them are Eagles. I can't say that. Give me the Hartsville Eagles in this one. Lincoln hosting Eugene. Lincoln's a good team. They're 8-1. Eugene sitting at 7-3. I think they have the competitive advantage here. Eugene's played some really good teams. They played a team out of Illinois at the Norm Stewart Classic. They got that one done. They lost to Blair Oaks on a buzzer beater. They played the biggest school in the Grade 8 Classic at JC, like, 1 week ago. They ended up losing by a few points in that one, and then they turned around and they played Capital City. Pretty certain that they beat Capital City. So they're a good team, and they've played some pretty good competition, some higher classes. I think they get it done against Lincoln here. Schuyler County versus Canton. Schuyler County sitting at 8-0, and everybody likes a good undefeated team. But when you look at their schedule, they're playing teams that have like 2 wins right now. So they're not playing good competition. I think Canton ends up winning this one on the road. And East Carter versus Bunker. East Carter has played 12 games already. They're kind of running the team into the floor here. 12 games is a lot. They're sitting at 6-6, so it's not like they're playing a lot of games and winning a lot of games. They're kind of having stuff way down on them. Bunker's 10-0. It's only 2 games less, but they've won them all. So give me Bunker winning this one. The Class 3 scoreboard, Scott City versus Cape Central is where we'll go first. That game is on Friday night. I forgot to mention every single one in Class 2 is a Friday night game. All these, except the bottom 2, are Friday night games. So Scott City versus Cape Central. Scott City is a good basketball team sitting at 8-1, but Cape Central, they're always good. They're 2 classes higher than Scott City. I think that the Tigers end up getting this one done. Dixon versus Bell. I got the opportunity to watch Bell already this year. They played Tipton, and they didn't look good. It was a bad game. That is literally the only game in Missouri Sports Talk history that I've gone to record and did the whole entire video and got home and said, this isn't good enough for YouTube. And it is what it is. Like, Tipton ended up winning by like 10 points. They scored like 46, and a bunch of them was free throws at the end. It was awful. It was like 25% shooting across both teams. It was just a bad game, and I don't know if that was just an off night for the Tigers or what, but that's my sample that I got of them. So that's kind of what I'm going to end up thinking. Give me Dixon. I think they end up winning this game against Bell. Like I said, that's all I know is a bad game by Bell. So I don't really necessarily know what they're capable of. So give me the Bulldogs. Bishop LeBlanc versus Lafayette County. This is 11-1 versus 7-1. Big game. Lafayette County's only loss is Richmond, another good team. I'm blanking on Bishop LeBlanc's 1 loss, but I do think they end up winning this one at home. Twin Rivers versus Puxico. I have to be honest, I didn't even know that Twin Rivers existed until setting this video up. They're sitting at 9-4, so they're not a bad basketball team, but Puxico, man, they're looking good. So I do think that the Indians will get this one done on the road. Tarkio, they're being hosted by North Platte. I think North Platte gets this one done at home. I think they're a pretty solid basketball team. And Herman, Class 3 versus Washington, Class 5. That's a competition issue. So I think Washington wins this one. It's hard because I'm not the biggest basketball knower quite yet. I'm trying to get into it. So I see the class advantage. I see a better record. They're playing better competition, and that's just kind of what I base myself off of. So the first few weeks of basketball predictions may be rough, but I will take Washington here. Class 4 scoreboard, Hallsville, they're a really good team. I got to see them play Centralia, who we'll talk about next. I also got to see North Callaway play, and Hallsville is definitely the better team here, so I will take the Indians. Moberly versus Centralia, I've got to see both of these teams as well. Centralia I got to see twice. They played... let me think. Centralia played Hallsville, and I think they played North Callaway the first time. And then Moberly, I got to see them play Boonville. They won that game. I think Moberly's the better team. They get to play at home as well, so I will take the Spartans. Shout out to my Panther community, though. Probably the best student section that I've got to interact with. Central KC versus Benton. This is a big one for the Kansas City area. These are 2 amazing Class 4 basketball teams. I think Central KC is the better team. Like I said, it may be rough to start off, so I'm kind of like Also basing it off of what I knew about last year, and I know Central KC was a really good team last year, so I will take the Eagles here. Orchard Farm versus Clayton. Orchard Farm is off to a really solid start to the season. So is Clayton. I think this one's going to end up being close. I will take Orchard Farm with that home court advantage, though. Mount Vernon versus Nevada. This is a tough one to predict. Two good teams in the Springfield areas. I will take the Mountaineers. I think they've got some ballers on that team. So I think Mount Vernon gets this one done. Maryville versus Mid Buchanan. There's a little bias here. I love the dragon logo. I like Mid Buchanan a lot. They're good at a lot of sports. Can't pick against them, So give me Mid Buchanan win this one on the road. Class 5 scoreboard. JC versus MICDS. I will be at this game tomorrow on Friday. I forgot to mention Mount Vernon, Nevada. That is on the 7th. I don't know what day that is. I think that's Wednesday. I'm kind of neglecting that a little bit, so that's my bad. But on the 3rd, JC versus MICDS. I think JC wins this one pretty handily. I'm excited to go film these highlights. I think MICDS, they have a solid basketball team, but there's not going to be a lot of teams that are going to be keeping up with JC this year. I think JC can make a run in the playoffs. Westminster versus St. Francis Borgia. This is another one if we're talking about people making playoff runs. I think literally every single news site has Westminster in the top 5 in Class 5. So, they're a really good team. So, I think they win this one pretty handily against Borgia. Parkview versus Glendale. Both these teams are really solid down in the Springfield area. I think Parkview is a little bit better. They played JC last year, actually, and I think that was in the Elite Eight. So I think they have the potential to make it back there. So give me the Vikings. Webster Groves versus University City. This is a massive one in the St. Louis area. Webster Groves, they've got Scotty Atkinson. I think that he leads the way in a game against University City. Webb City versus Nixa. I think that Nixa gets this one done on the road. They're sitting at 9-1. They're playing really good right now. So I think the Eagles continue to roll. And Farmington versus Cardinal Ritter. Cardinal Ritter is always good. So I just have to take the Lions here. I get that Farmington's 10-0, but I think the Lions are just going to continue to roll. The Class 6 scoreboard. Lafayette, they're sitting at 5-6. They're playing Liberty, so give me Liberty winning this one. DeSmet versus Helias. This is a potential one that I could go to. I might. I can't guarantee that. I don't think I work that night, but as long as, I heard there's some snow this weekend, so everybody stay safe, please. But if the roads are bad, I probably won't be making my way up to St. Louis, but this is one that I definitely could potentially go to. Lee Summit North versus Staley. Both these teams sitting at 5-3. I think Lee Summit North will end up losing this one at home. I like how Staley's playing. They've got some really good wins. Even though they've lost a few games, they've got some really solid wins. So give me the Falcons. Blue Springs South versus Lee Summit. Blue Springs South sitting at 7-2. I think they get it done against the Lee Summit Tigers. Park Hill versus Oak Park. Oak Park, I believe personally, is the number 1 team in Class 6. They have a really legitimate shot at winning the state championship in Class 6 this year. So I think they get this one done on the road. They're sitting at 10-1. Park Hill 9-2. These are two really good basketball teams, but give me the Northmen. Carthage versus Central Springfield to end off the day. I just now noticed, as I'm filming this video, that I left off the mascot for Central Springfield. It literally just says Central Springfield on the scoreboard, so that is on me. Whoopsies. I do think they win this game. That's not making up for it. They are 4-4, but they're playing some really tough competition. They're good year in and year out. I think they get this one done on the road. But that's all we've got for today. Maybe it is a good decision if I cramp these all together in one video just for a little bit until I get a little more familiar with these teams. May end up having to take off of work a little bit more so I can get some more exposure, get some more games, and kind of be a little smarter, because I know a lot about football. I don't mean to sound, arrogant or anything like that. I did really good performance-wise on picks and stuff with that. Basketball, it's going to be down, because I just don't know as much. In baseball may be rough. I may not even do predictions during baseball because that may end up getting pretty bad. But I think I'll do okay during basketball, but I don't have as many talking points right now. I got to get to games. I got to get to know these players. So I'm sorry, first few weeks may not be perfect. I'm going to focus more on highlights during basketball rather than picks. Football, they literally only played on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Barely any games on Thursdays, barely any games on Saturdays. Main chunk obviously for football is on Fridays, but for basketball, they're playing every single night. So I'll have more exposure for highlights and, be able to get out of the chair and go actually get highlights and learn a little more rather than just kind of doing internet research. So that'll be big for me. So that's all I've got for today. Thank you very much for watching. I've got 800 subscribers now. I think the goal is 2,000 at the end of the year. I would absolutely love that. TikTok, if it doesn't get banned, I want 20K. I'm sitting at like 8,500 right now. And Instagram, I'd say maybe around 8,000. I'm sitting at 2.5. So those are my goals for this year. This has been Missouri Sports Talk. See you next time.